What are you doing now? Go.
Yes. This is the partial photograph of the 87th Squadron, the 438th Troop Carrier Group, which was in England in the latter part of 1944 and participated in the invasion of Normandy. Of course, I trained this squadron when I was first sergeant about a year prior to the going overseas. As you can see very clearly in this picture, this is not the entire squadron. It's only a partial group, but it does, fortunately, have my CO. This is Major David E. Daniels. David E. Daniel. And this is his executive officer, who now obviously a captain. He was a second lieutenant at the time when I was first sergeant. Had to break him in on some of the duties. And this is Lieutenant Gregory, both of these boys from southern lands. And this is my very good friend, Cone Dixon, who was my #1 chief assistant and one of the handsomest guys, aside from myself, in this squadron. He was the devil with the girls. That's all I can say. I had to protect both the girl and him as we roused about in all parts of the Midwest and South, preparing for departure overseas. This particular photo does not include any flying officers, but it does include the crew chief, who authorized to wear the crew chief wings at the time. I notice my good friend Cone Dixon has been promoted to top sergeant. When I was first sergeant, I was what they call a tech sergeant. That's a chevron with 3 up and 2 down. Nonetheless, I had my friend Cone Dixon appointed to take my place when I went to OCS. And actually, my talents and potential was well recognized throughout the 438th group. And Major Daniel insisted that those talents should be spread out of a wider base, and that I should go to OCS. That was down at Miami Beach, Florida. Almost said California. You know how it is when you've been so many places, done so many things, accomplished so many things, that sometimes some of these things get a little gobbled. Nonetheless, it was Cone Dixon who took me in his Jeep. It was really my Jeep, but naturally when I was leaving, I gave it to him, to the railroad station for my departure from Sedalia Army Airfield at Warrensburg, Missouri, to Miami Beach, Florida. And that's all I have to say about this. Now, there are other knickknacks around here which are for sale, of course. We can't give everything away, you know. And a letter to me personally, Chris Whitney, would afford you the opportunity of participating in some of the many, many momentums I have gathered from around the world. Now, for example, we have here, this was a large male wild mountain goat that attacked me when I was in the Alps. Now, we've had it miniaturized by virtue of a special process where it's reduced in size. But when it attacked me, it was about 20 times this size, and these horns almost were the cause of my departure from this earth at an early age. But fortunately, I was able to reach out with both of my large, muscled arms and hold the head steady until one of my assistants. I always travel with a staff. Why? Because there may be many things that I did not want to do, which I turned over to my staff. One of my staff was right there and was able to contain this wild mountain goat. Well, that's one little thing. Over here, oh, incidentally, this is my plane. This is C-47, which I had the opportunity to fly down from Chongqing to Hangzhou, China. That was down the China-Burma India Theatre, and you probably hold, you know, Vinegar Joe, Stillwell, huh? Vinegar Joe, Chenault, General Chenault. There's one of my boys out there in the CBI Theatre. And that's what I flew, and I naturally had my men do it. I couldn't leave the controls, what with me and the flight news up there. We didn't dare leave our position, and my men kicked out the supplies through that little door there, out onto, we were going about, got down as low as 150 feet for that purpose. Of course, as you well know, my name was well known in the CBI Theatre. They called me Wild Bill Whitney. That's all for now.
180 something.